very proud moment, but I don't like to think of this event or these celebrations myself. This is about celebrating the whole of the department, the currently serving officers, the retired officers themselves, and indeed all those officers that served before our time as well, since 1750, which it is still quite difficult to imagine what Gibraltar would have looked like and the type of trade that would have been happening. I suspect that from the records that we have is that many of the items that were being taxed or even smuggled in and out of Gibraltar would have been very much the same as we have today. But yes, the role has continued. The department, with its 275th anniversary, predates the US Declaration of Independence, for example. So it is a very important landmark. Our organization has been going, it's one of those that have been standing for the longest in Gibraltar. So yes, very proud. Also remember the families of the officers. It's sometimes forgotten how difficult it can be to have the officers working at odd hours, working night shifts, working in cold and wet conditions, like all law enforcement. But yes, we are not immune to any of that. Having to work in difficult areas, such as the beaches, at the frontier fence, or conducting covert operations in the middle of the night and all that. So there is a lot of work in customs.
If you put this in the balance, Gibraltar's been British for 321 years, since 1704, if you count from the conquest rather than from the treaty. Customs has been a part of the administrative British reality of Gibraltar for the lion's share of that time. So you're looking at almost 275 years out of 320, that's the lion's share of that period. And in that period, there are two main roles that customs fulfills. The first is to keep out substances that are illegal, drugs, etc., in the modern age, weapons perhaps, coming into the garrison, etc., in the past, and also, in a more sophisticated way, the levying of public revenue, the collection of duties on items that are legal in Gibraltar but have to pay an import duty, might we call it a transaction tax in the future, and that creates the public revenue which enables us to provide public services alongside other streams of public revenue, principally personal and corporate taxation. So if you look at it in that way, this was really one of the first instruments of raising public revenue. It's established and it's got public services through in many instances, and you might even say that many of us owe our degrees to the public revenues collected by customs, and indeed community care receives a donation, a generous donation from the government, in great measure from the amounts that we recover directly from revenue from customs.